So literally for 3 months, I was like, feel like I'm gonna die. Like I thought they were gonna find like a brain tumor or tumor somewhere that like causing this. Cause what would happen is every day I'd wake up out of breath, go walk into the living room, even more out of breath. I'd literally have to like sit down. I can vividly remember this, like sitting down going, gosh, I can't breathe very well. And then I'd try and eat and I'd literally eat like a bite of food and I'd have this happen for drained as all could be. And I could maybe answer emails for like an hour a day or something like that. Otherwise I was just laying down. So just slowly over time, it's just a little over a year since that happened, since I started getting really bad. Started getting normal this last 3 months. I live in San Diego, so it's super expensive. I've got, pretty decent amount of overhead. And if the business depended on me while I was out, then I would have been in really bad shape.
You were on the show, I think a little over a year ago, and we were talking about TV, we were talking about pickleball, we were talking about all these different things. And then I opened up Facebook one day, not too long thereafter, and I think I see a picture of you inside an ambulance or something like that. What happened?
Yeah. So, this time last year, which was not too long after the show, I pretty much thought I was dying. A lot of things happened. I think it was, like I mentioned a little bit ago, I think it was a perfect storm. So, mold, we found out was an issue. And the way we found out was actually my son. My son was having behavioral issues.
Oh, really?
And through a mom's group, my wife posted his results from some kind of medical testing she did. And they said, "Oh, you've got to be in mold based on the levels that he's got of whatever." And she's like, "No, we live in like a 10-year-old house. It's immaculate. Like my wife keeps the house extremely clean.
Mhm.
So anybody who would walk into her house would be like, there's no way there's mold here."
Yeah.
And so they thought my son was autistic,
Mhm.
and he was 3 years old at the time, and actually 4 years old at the time. And so then we got tested, and we found out we had mold in our system. So we're like, okay, there is mold in our house. So we ended up finding the mold, remediating, getting rid of the mold. We moved out of mold, and I had been sick off and on for like a year, like
Mhm.
literally every month. I was getting sick once or twice a month, just normal sick though. When I went to go see a naturopath, she gave me high doses of iron. She gave me high doses of testosterone, and found out she didn't test me correctly for either of them.
Huh.
And gave me doses that were, even if I needed them, were way outside the realm of what she should have given me. Because iron is a metal, right?
Mhm.
So like, it can be toxic. And then some other things happen. I was flying my own airplane, so there's lack of oxygen. There's EMFs and electromagnetic fields. Got COVID a couple times, and my body just wanted to shut down. It was literally at the point where the ambulance ride, I was actually sitting on the couch. I wasn't feeling good that day, and I literally just felt like tingling going up all the way through my body and through my arms. And I just started like shaking and shivering. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe as well. And I told my wife, and it could have been anxiety that was causing the breathing, but there's something going on with my body.
Understandable.
And I told my wife, I said, I think well, no, she asked me, she goes, "Do you think I need to call an ambulance?" Because usually she's the one that's like, whatever, you'll be fine.
Mhm.
She's like, "Do I need to call an ambulance?" And I'm like, "I think you do." So the ambulance comes, and I get into they do all these kind of tests. They're like, "Okay, I think we need to take you in just to be safe." Hug my son. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" And so I go to the emergency room, and of course they tell me it's anxiety, don't worry about it, whatever. And I had COVID a couple times, so I thought maybe it was long COVID. I'm on a mission to help as many people double their income working half the time. And in order to do that, you have to plug into people and resources to help you do it. If you want to connect with me, my network, and things that will help you get where you want to be, go to tonyjavier.com/connect. Remember, your net worth is in direct proportion to your net work. So utilize my network to grow exponentially. I do periodic trainings and masterminds with the best in the business, and you can get access to them. Go to tonyjavier.com/connect. So I felt this way for probably at least 3 months. Where
So you checked out.
checked out fine. So I mentioned POTS syndrome to you. I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole with all this health
Sure.
stuff. But POTS syndrome is basically where your body can't regulate your blood pressure. So if you bend over or if you do something it can totally throw you off. And I think that's what happened was my body was so out of whack that when I bent over to pick something up and then I got up, I was like feeling like, so I went and sat on the couch and then I crossed my legs, which is even worse because then you're, dysregulating your blood flow in your legs now. So now your whole body's feeling it. And so when I got into this stretcher, they carted me out and I went flat, it regulated me. So then I started kind of like feeling better. So when I go to the hospital, of course, they're like, there's nothing wrong with you. Like they do blood work. And so it's called dysautonomia, which was caused by all this stuff where your body's just basically out of whack. So literally for 3 months, I was like, I feel like I'm going to die. Like I thought they were going to find like a brain tumor or tumor somewhere that like was causing this. Cause what would happen is every day I'd wake up out of breath. I'd go walk into the living room, even more out of breath. And I'd literally have to like sit down. I can vividly remember this, like sitting down going, gosh, I can't breathe very well. And then I'd try and eat and I'd literally eat like a bite of food and I'd have to go back to bed. And this happened for
You're just drained.
many weeks, drained as all could be. And I could maybe answer emails for like an hour a day or something like that. Otherwise, I was just laying down trying to feel better. So just slowly over time, it's just, it's been a little over a year since that happened, since I started getting really bad. And just started getting normal this last 3 months.
Yeah.
It's been a slow process.
So 2 questions, one probably more important than the other. So we'll go with the less important question. How did you run your business while you're going through all this?
So that's the beautiful thing. We actually had a record year in 2 out of the 3 main businesses that I own and run. So back in 2010, I kind of hit rock bottom mentally where I just had to fire my whole staff. And this has happened like 2 or 3 times at this point. So I ended up staffing back up smartly. I hired my sister and I hired a coach who had a business that ran without him. And so within about 3 to 4 years, I was able to automate the real estate investing business where it didn't need me anymore. This was back in 2014. And I moved from Wichita, Kansas to San Diego. So when I started 10X TV, I wanted to do the same thing.
Right.
And so luckily out of the gate, I had a good media team already. So they handled all the media buying and all of that. I did the sales for the first probably 2 years. I was the best at it. And I actually kind of like doing it, even though I'm not a natural born salesperson. It's nice talking to high level people that you can positively affect their businesses.
Right.
And so, but I knew that I couldn't do that forever. Like I knew that there were other things that I wanted to work on and do and have more free time. So I hired a salesperson a couple of years ago, and they've been amazing. Noah, some of you guys that are listening may know Nope. So I was fortunate enough when this happened that I could literally just answer high level questions on email, maybe do a meeting every once in a while. In fact, there were many months where I just didn't take any meetings. Like my team meetings, I'm like, you guys have to do it. Every once in a while I might pop on for a little bit and say hi to the team, like, hey guys, give them a little encouragement, whatever. But they ran without me. We were at least 10, if not 20% better 10X TV this year than the year before, or 2024 than 2023. From the flipping standpoint, I think we were up like probably close to 50%, 40%, maybe something like that. And I always encourage people, like, even if you don't need to automate your business or think that you want to be in your business, get it to a point where it runs without you. So if something like this does happen, I'll tell you what, if I didn't have the people that I have and I was running one of these businesses, or especially both of these businesses, and I was the key factor to it, having to go out on appointments or having to do sales, I would have been in trouble. I mean, I couldn't do anything. I live in San Diego, so it's super expensive. I've got, pretty decent amount of overhead. And if the business depended on me while I was out, then I would have been in really bad shape. I really hope this helped you. I'm very passionate about this because I want people to have a life worth living and businesses worth owning. So remember, anything is possible. Whatever you put your mind to is possible. So if you made it this far, you are a winner and you're probably going places. And I want to help you go further and help you do it faster. So go to tonyjavier.com/connect to plug into my network. If you loved this video, you are absolutely going to love this one.